morning. My name is Jean Saderholm, and Pastor Daniel called me earlier this week and asked me to follow up the message with this witness. So my family and I joined St. Matthew's in 1980. I have been reluctantly dragged or pushed into doing things I really didn't want to do several times in my life, and this felt like one of those times. Our two sons were 12 and 14, and we belonged to a church where we were all very comfortable, but it was too far from our home in Bowie to involve us in the community. As there was a very large group, and many of the parents are here, of similar age young people in Bowie at the time, our boys were immediately accepted and immersed in youth group, youth choir, Sunday school, trips to ASP, and eventually bell choir. I assimilated more slowly in finding my way in my new church home. Let me share a few of the things I finally have found here at St. Matthew's. Over the 39 years we have been here, I've been a member of a Sunday school class that often disagrees, but lovingly and respectfully allows all members their opinion. We have been recipients of a flood of cards, phone calls, prayers from Angel Gang when one of us has been ill, and meals from the Meals Ministry after I had surgery. I've participated in filling Christmas stockings for children whose parents are in prison, fixing meals for the men's shelter, donating food for the food pantry, and traveling to Liberia to help build a clinic at St. Matthew's School in Monrovia. I've been embraced by the United Methodist Women. My circle provides support and fellowship, and a little-known program within our UMW called the Secret Sisters has lifted me up with cards, prayers, and small gifts, and provided me with the opportunity to return the favor to members of our group outside of the 8:30 service and outside of my own circle. I've had the opportunity to get to know many of the younger generations here. Some memories are of just greeting a very shy toddler who frequently sits in my pew on Sunday and watching him grow to a first grader who now gives me a hug. Several years ago, we were encouraged to form or join a small group to strengthen our ties to St. Matthew's. Surprisingly, we somehow became part of a small group that has several members who are the same age as our children. We've had the joy of sponsoring young people through confirmation. One of my favorite memories is of 3 young ladies riding in the back of our car as we drove to a confirmation retreat and were stuck in a lengthy traffic jam. They passed the time sharing, giggling, bonding, and watching someone in the neighboring car play Candy Crush. Needless to say, that was my first introduction to Candy Crush. Those 3 young ladies, young women, are graduating from 3 different high schools this week and will be taking a piece of my heart with them to college. Recently, I was privileged to be a member of a committee that is striving to define St. Matthew's in the wake of a general conference that we felt did not define us. The welcoming statement that the group has written and presented for the congregation's approval is a testimony of our love for one another. All 4 of the Gospels have verses about Jesus' definition of love. I like the verses from John in chapter 13. It says, "Let me give you a new command, love one another. In the same way I loved you, you love one another. This is how everyone will recognize that you are my disciples when they see the love you have for each other." As I was writing this about belonging to a loving community, a song kept popping into my thoughts. So as my final words about love this morning, I want to leave you with a verse from a Disney song written by Elton John and Tim Rice. And it says, "Can you feel the love tonight? The peace that evening brings. The world for once in perfect harmony with all its living things."